Today we're going to talk about 3 things you should be talking with your clients about. Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's episode. I am Chad Owen, the owner of Retirement Realized Financial, the one-stop shop for all agents looking for a new FMO, and Retirement Realized Agents Academy. If you need training, we can train you. Well, not all of you, because some of you can't be trained. But anyway, so I had an agent that was with us for years, and I just kept asking the same question. So can you explain to me the index strategies again? Like, oh my gosh, when the market goes up, you get a portion of the gains. When the market goes down, you stay flat. It's that easy.
It's that simple.
It's that simple.
It is.
So, get us started.
Yes, 3 things.
Oh, and if you want guns, it's heavensarmory.com. That's my other company. If you want branding, it's increaseyou.com. Of course,
we use them.
Yeah, we do use them. Yep. Okay, so now back to our regular.
If you're looking to retire and you want to learn about safety and security, it's Eagle Shadow Life and Annuity.
Yeah, correct. That's mine. If you're in this business and you're looking for me to help you retire, you're a good place to be. So,
it's like Allstate. You're in good hands.
No, we're way better than Allstate.
There you go. I like it. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're in his hands.
We're in his hands.
Yeah, that's way better than Allstate.
His hands?
Yeah, with a capital H.
You know, he can fit the whole world in his hands.
Yep, but not your big head. So, anyway.
Guilty as charged.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I'm surprised I was able to get a half-ton pickup.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
3 things you should be talking about with your clients. Number 1, future income projections. Okay? When you're talking about current income, you talk about future income. You talk about retirement income. You talk about pensions. You talk about Social Security. You talk about guaranteed income. You talk about non-guaranteed income. Talk about all their future income. And worst case scenario, he dies. What does she get? She dies. What does he get? Right? I mean, it's pretty simple and straightforward. And this one actually...
When the guy asked me, he goes, when I die, how much do I get? Nothing. You're dead. They always get that moment where they're looking at you like, oh, yeah, you're right.
You're right.
I am dead.
You don't get anything.
Yeah. She, on the other hand. Okay.
But that's important, and it's part of the Fact Finder. If you're not a part of Retirement Realized Agents Academy and you need a good Fact Finder, you should be a part of
Retirement Realized Financial.
Or Retirement Realized Financial. You should use Chad's Fact Finder. We give it to you in the Academy.
And I just changed it again. I actually finished it, so I will send that over to you.
Awesome.
Yep.
We'll get that updated.
That is by far the most changed document I have, hands down.
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly adapting it to current market conditions. And quite frankly, like, for example, long-term care has always been a question on there. But I tried to make it really trying to impact even more because statistics continue to go up.
Right.
The importance of long-term care of some sort. Not a long-term care policy, but something with living benefits.
Some kind of,
Because I'm not convinced on actual long-term care policies if they keep raising the rates and eventually they can't afford it. So if they cancel it, who keeps all the money? Insurance company. They lose all the money they put into that.
Right.
So if you do the right plans, that's not the case.
Yeah, that's good. And obviously there's some annuities with some kind of living benefits that you can get with those that are designed to kind of aid long-term care. There's life insurance with living benefits. There's different things you can do to structure that.
If I do get a little bit of froth on my mustache, just let me know.
I'll let you know.
Because this is also on YouTube as well.
Yeah. For those of you that are listening on the podcast,
subscribe to YouTube.
You
Hit
should
the
check
like
it
button,
out on the YouTube
ring
channel.
the bell, and make a comment.
Yeah.
I got my radio thing going today.
You do. It's interesting.
It is interesting.
You're like 3 sips into that coffee.
I
And
know.
it already seems like
That's
it's hitting
the difference,
you.
right? It's just the smell of the coffee.
It just triggers increase
that is
hyperactivity.
True. Interesting.
Yeah.
I was kind of a dud before. Okay.
Looking at future income projections.
I'm really glad you don't smoke, because if you did the way you laugh, you'd be the wheeziest person out there. Okay.
That like airy laugh?
Yes.
Okay. Well, anyways.
Okay, go.
So you're looking at future income projections. Obviously, you're planning from a worst case scenario. You need to understand,
which is super important.
Right.
Plan from the worst case scenario, because the reality is, I want my clients, if you can. I mean, there's certain clients you meet with that worst case scenarios, you're never retiring.
Right.
And that actually, unfortunately, happens way more than I would like to see.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Even I even have clients where even with their 2 Social Securities put together, they still can't retire.
Yeah.
And why so many people right now at 60 plus years old are taking 30-year mortgages out? I'm just like,
beats me.
It just, well, it's because financial advisors are telling them, oh, well, hey, you know what? You don't want to put your $200,000 into the home and pay for that. You want to take the loan for 30 years and then take the money that you could have put in that, put it into stock market, which averages 9 to 12% returns. I'm telling you, I'm hearing all the time now. And I'm like,
that's what they're telling them.
Yeah. So now you put it in towards the top of the market. The stock market loses 50%. Your 200,000 now 100,000. Oh, but it's IRA money. So now you have required minimum distributions, and you know what, or non-qualified. It doesn't matter. They're still having to use someone to live off of, but now they experience a loss. But now they have a 30-year mortgage on their home. It's just,
it's a mess.
Always plan for the worst case scenario.
Plan for the worst case scenario. And here's the thing too: if you're selling annuities, you're using annuities for clients, you don't have to annuitize, obviously. Look at income riders.
Don't annuitize.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it. I think that it's not a good way to try and plan. It's not needed anymore.
No. It to me, the annuitization was really an 80s and 90s type scenario. Nowadays, with the income riders that are available, with the participation in some index growths, and with the minimum guarantee on income riders, there's just no reason, in my opinion, to do that anymore.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing about the income rider to me is that a lot of times you do get roll-up rate. So you've got some kind of guaranteed growth already built into it to try and increase your benefit base so that your benefit base is higher, so that when you're actually taking a withdrawal factor, a payout factor of whatever percent it is, which a lot of times can beat the standard old 4% rule, it's actually a higher percentage on a larger account, and it's guaranteed for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pay, I don't want my clients to pay a fee. It's like, it's a fee for guarantees. Wait.
You don't want your clients to pay a fee, but you're in a brokerage account that you got to pay fees. Oh, you also have mutual funds and then that have fees.
Yeah.
What do those fees get you? Absolutely nothing. No guarantees. Okay.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get me to rant today.
Well, you're caffeinated now, so it's a little bit easier.
And I'm only at a quarter of the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number two, something you should be talking with your clients about. Propose. The purpose. Excuse me.
I was going to say, where are you going with this?
The purpose of the different bunches of money that they have, right? So IRA, 401k, non-qualified accounts, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. You've got all these different types of money. What's the purpose of them individually?
Well, but the reality, all money goes into 2 things: plan for living, plan for dying. That's really every category of money you have out there has that purpose. Well, I have money set aside for taxes. Well, that's plan for living. I have a plan for vacation money. That's plan for living. I really don't need any income off of this. I have more than enough income coming in. I just want to pass on to my heirs. Plan for death.
Right.
I mean, that's the only 2 purposes money has.
Right. But you need to look at it for each.
You do. I mean, the reality, it's kind of a tough thing, because I also look at the scenario of, you have your IRAs, which has your required minimum distributions. So you already know you're going to be pulling from that anyway.
Right.
Roths, of course, tax-free money, tax-free growth. Non-qualified money is where it becomes a little tougher, because I have had people say, you know what, I got $15,000 in credit card debt. Should I put that into annuity, or should I put that into paying off the debt? Like, what's the interest rate on your credit cards? 12%. Well, that's kind of a no-brainer.
Right.
But the key is if you're going to pay off your credit cards, make sure you don't keep charging on the credit cards more than what you can pay every single month.
Totally.
So, or I had someone, this was a real creative type deal. They had $200,000 in non-qualified funds. So they said, what should I do? Should I pay for my house this way, or should I do a loan and do it? They were going to take a 15-year loan out. At this time, based off of what the payout was and what their ages were, we were able to do the $200,000, use the income from the $200,000 to pay for the 15-year loan, and then in the 15 years, the home's paid for, and they still have income coming in.
Nice.
So, but that's just, that's a unique circumstance.
Right.
And everything has to line up perfectly there, but it worked out great that way.
Yeah.
Because we all know an annuity, especially when people say, well, I want to take an annuity, or excuse me, I want to take $200,000, I want to buy a rental property and get income that way. Well, first of all, we all just saw recently that you can live in a home and you don't have to pay rent.
Right.
I mean, because that's just the fact. Forget about the person that still has to pay the mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to pay rent.
Right.
So that puts that person in a bind. Plus, refrigerators break down, ACs break down, roofs need to be replaced. I mean, there's all sorts of things. So I call the annuity an infinite rental without a tenant.
Yeah. You don't have all the repair costs.
No.
You don't have to deal with
or knocking on the door. Hey, rent's due. I'm sorry, I can't pay rent right now.
Yeah. You can get your check.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, the purpose of different money then, this is something that I've talked with agents about a lot, is I'm helping them with case design. They're part of the FMO. I'm helping them, because a lot of times they'll ask me, because they'll go through the mini fact finder on the phone. The mini fact finder is the questions you should be asking when you're making a call to go into your first appointment with a reasonable plan of action, or, customized illustration, things like that, to actually go over the concepts in a tailor-fit, customized way to the client. And the agent will ask me, well, Caleb, how do you know how much you should run that illustration for? You haven't gotten into their income stuff, because that's on the full fact finder, right? It's like, well, that's true. The mini fact finder, you have figured out what they have in their IRAs. You have figured out what they have in their 401ks. You looked at their stocks or bonds, mutual funds, what they have there, non-qualified accounts, emergency funds, and savings.
Where are you doing this?
Mini fact finder.
You're finding out where they have their funds?
Mm-hmm. On the mini fact finder, it's at least outlined there.
Yeah, just qualified, non-qualified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
just to be clear, because I don't want them thinking you break that all down on the phone.
You don't have to break it all down.
Yeah. How much do you have in non-qualified? How much do you have in your IRAs, 401ks, qualified accounts?
Correct.
How much do you have in your non-qualified accounts, brokerage accounts, checking, savings, money that's already been taxed? And I just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But generally, when you look at qualified accounts, period, 401ks, IRAs, those have been created and set aside and allocated to, grown for the sake of retirement.
The purpose of those is retirement.
Retirement.
It's not to take that $500,000 and pay $200,000 on the home, and now puts you up in a 25% tax bracket. Then now you're taking that out of your $200,000, so it's $50,000 less. So instead of $200,000, you have $150,000. Why would you pay taxes on that?
Right.
It's
but
so you're right.
You can use that, right, to go in, and now you know what you should be illustrating in the first appointment, because you've seen what they've got in these different things. It just makes it a whole lot easier. You need to be doing the mini fact finder. But that comes down to the purpose of the money. There are certain accounts that you can look at, like a 401k, a 403b, an IRA.
You know the job.
You know what it's for.
You tell your money what to do, or it tells you what to do.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then the third and last one, Chad, is what's their willingness to lose money. Right? And because you posed the question a little bit differently. It's not what's your risk tolerance, because people are trained to say, oh, moderate.
Moderate.
Right.
So you're willing to lose 30%? No.
Well, no.
Well, that's moderate.
Right. So you frame it differently. Are you willing to lose all of your money, some of your money, or none of your money?
It always gets a chuckle. Well, I don't want to lose any of my money. Well, just out of curiosity, why do you have all your 401k or your IRAs in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds? Now, remember, I am not telling them to buy or sell anything.
It's a question.
I'm just asking them, if you're not willing to lose any money, why do you have your money in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds?
Now the gears are turning.
Yeah, you don't, anybody who's not series licensed, you cannot recommend somebody getting in or out of a product.
Right.
But you can sure ask questions that make them think about if they should get in or out.
Right. And then they make the decision.
So what do you think I should do? Well, that's up to you. You said you don't want to lose any money, so therefore you got to have products you can't lose money in. So you have to make the decision that's what's best for your situation. And I will tell them multiple times in an appointment, I will say, I cannot tell you whether you should get in or out of any sort of variable product whatsoever. I can't. So you have to make the decision.
Right. You tell them that. And
all
you tell them this affects your retirement far more than it affects mine. That's why it is your decision.
Yeah. And it really comes down to, I follow things to the T. When they say you can't make recommendations of somebody getting in or out of a product, I don't.
Right.
But is somebody say, well, what do you think of gold? Well, can you lose money in gold? Yeah. Well, then what do you think I think of gold? You don't like it? Well, I don't like it for retirement purposes,
Sure.
but that doesn't mean you should or should not have it.
Right.
That's up to you.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's true. So the three things to recap: looking at their future retirement income projections, talking about the purpose of the different bunches of money that they have, and then lastly, their willingness to lose, protect money,
Risk
whatever,
tolerance,
however you want to word that.
Yep.
So those are the three big ones that you need to be talking with your clients about.
that's it. Well, I hope this helps you guys. It's that simple. Have a great day. And of course, happy selling.